Greetings, this is Life Today, bringing Deuteronomy chapter 14. Now, Deuteronomy chapter 14, I will divide it. It talks about the same thing, but just giving us three different scenarios around cancellation of what you would consider a debt or a commitment you had made for yourself. So the first portion talks about the release of debtors, or release of those who owe you. Does God have something to say? Does the Bible say something about how we should handle those who owe us? At the end of every seventh year, you must cancel the debts of everyone who owes you money. Now, I know some of us might hear this and go like, and then what happens to me? How do I gain back what I had given to help someone? They came seeking to be lent money. So I lend them money. I lend them a portion of money, and the commitment was that they were going to pay it back. And they haven't paid it back, and it's now 7 years down the line. 7 years is a number of rest, okay? And God attaches to that idea the idea of giving our debtors, giving those who owe us something, rest, releasing them from the guilt and the commitment to pay up their debts. Now, of course, you could be sitting there thinking, doesn't that mean then that if I borrow someone, then I can borrow and just dodge them for 7 years so that they can release us? Well, that's then up to you, because that is being shrewd, that is being a bad friend, a bad neighbor, and of course that makes you lose a lot of other things. I don't think the idea here is to help those who borrow to work towards escaping the commitment. No. But the idea here is towards us extending grace. That's the idea. If it should happen that you have not been able to pay me the debt for 7 years, whatever you've not been able to pay, God expects that I release you. Okay? That is how it used to happen. Now, how does that relate to us today? Well, I don't think there's a problem if you still followed up to get what you owed. Okay? You can still follow, but just thinking about it, surely, if you've done life for 7 years without it, I could as well just say then maybe I don't even need it. If I have gone through my life normally for 7 years without that which you have been having that belongs to me, then I think I can still do the rest of my life without it. So that's the idea. If you can't honor it, it's fine, keep it. That's just how simply I will put it. It's fine. It's fine. I won't lose anything if you still kept it, so to speak. But God was also looking at them working towards living together as one community, seeing each other as brothers and sisters, and not allow the little things to cause rift in their relationships. And this was going to enhance that. Okay? But then also the idea was that so that we do not lend people and lead them into poverty. Verse 4 says, there should be no poor among you, for the Lord your God will greatly bless you in the land He's giving you as a special possession. Now, Jesus says later in New Testament that the poor will always be among you. Is he contradicting himself? No. There's a context here. In this case, they were being given an inheritance that was going to serve them well. All of them, without anyone feeling less. And that's what God is emphasizing here. With what you have, there should be no poor among them. Unless you're choosing to be greedy, unless you're choosing to be manipulative and exploitive of others. But what you have is enough for all of you, and there should never be a poor person among you. Fast forward in the New Testament, resources are beginning to be lesser and lesser. And the idea of others having less is becoming a reality. And they will be there. Jesus said they will always be there. Even to this point, we still have the poor. Okay? Among us, they will always be there. But that is also so that God gives us continued opportunities to partner with him to serve our communities. How can we serve those who are poor among us? Okay, and it begins within our faith communities, as you see in the book of Acts chapter 2. Okay, the church shared resources they had. It was enough for everyone, that if within a church community we can share what we have and no one feels like they are less, then together we become even stronger, and we begin to now translate that into other relationships near us. What do you have that God has given to you? Are you content with it? How are you allowing God to bless others through you? Okay. Now the second thing is release for Hebrew slaves. Now we've talked about the debtors, now slaves. If a fellow Hebrew sells himself or herself to be your servant and serves you for 6 years, in the 7th year you must set that servant free. They sell themselves to serve you. They can only do that for 6 years. The 7th year they are supposed to be released. When you release a male servant, do not send him away empty-handed. You see, they sold themselves. You release them with a blessing. Give him a generous farewell gift from your flock, your threshing floor, and your winepress. Share with him some of the bounty with which the Lord your God has blessed you. Remember that you were once slaves in the land of Egypt, and the Lord your God redeemed you. When I read this, I remember that Swahili saying, maskini akipata, matako hulia, bwata. Do you know what that means? Some of us, when we get something little, we forget where the Lord has brought us from. We become masters and we stop being friends. Become masters. We want to command and order people. We want to show people how well-to-do we are, how wealthy we are, and we forget where we are. And God is telling them, this law I'm giving it to you so that you remember where I have brought you from. You were once a slave. And so, because you know how it feels like to be a slave, I want you to treat those who come to you as slaves in an appropriate manner. When you're releasing them, release them well. But support your servant says, let me say this first before I come to that. Now, how do we have slaves in our context? Some of us own businesses and we've employed people. How are we remunerating them? How are we handling them? How are we even speaking to people we've employed? We call ourselves Christians, yes. But the way we handle our employees is a clear indication that we are not working closely with the Lord. Your employees are scared of you. When they hear you're coming to the office, they run. They literally hide from you. Why? Because you're not treating them right. How are you paying them? What are they saying about you? Because our employees will always speak to us according to how we treat them. And you're doing that, forgetting that you didn't even have that job, that business a while back. The Lord was just gracious to you. But jumepata, sasa zinalia mbwata. You're forgetting. May we always remember that all that we are and have is just by the grace. We do not deserve anything. It's not because of our hard work, it's not because of our wit. It is all just by the grace. It could have been someone else owning it. It could have been someone else having it. We have house ups, people we invite to serve with us in our homes. How do we treat them? And when you're releasing people that have worked for you, how are you releasing them? Do they leave kicking, complaining? You've thrown hands at them? Or do you release them well? Even with the gifts. It is an appropriate thing to do. It is a godly thing to do. It reflects the heart of God. That's what it does. By the way, do you know that the Egyptians released, even though they did not, because this is the heart of God. He compelled the Egyptians to release the Israelites with gifts. Not willingly, but he compelled them because he was expressing his heart to his people. And so that when he speaks about it, he can even show them an example. The Egyptians, they did not intend, they did not want to, but God compelled the Egyptians to release the Israelites with gifts. They left with resources, having been slaves for many years. Lakini wewe, the people who work for you, when they move, it's like nothing happened. May God have mercy on you and me. May we learn the wisdom of honoring people. They have labored with us for years, for months. Their labor must count. Whatever you can, honor them. Honor them, release them honorably. Lastly, okay, still on that before I go into the last thing. But suppose your servant says, I will not leave you, because he loves you and your family and he has done well with you. In that case, take an awl and push it through his ear robe into the door. After that, he will be your servant for life. There will be a symbol to indicate this one has chosen to be mine forever. You must not consider it a hardship when you release your servants. Remember that for 6 years they have given you service, worth double the wages of hired workers, and the Lord your God will bless you in all you do. Don't reward them complaining. Do not consider it hardship to release them, to bless them. God will reward you. Lastly, the sacrifice of the firstborn male animals. You must set aside for the Lord your God all the firstborn males from your flocks and herds. Do not use the firstborn of your herds to work your fields, and do not shear the firstborn of your flocks. Instead, you and your family must eat these animals in the presence of the Lord your God each year at the place he chooses. First fruit, bring it to the house of the Lord, share it with others. It does not belong to you. The first does not belong to you. No wonder Jesus is introduced as the firstborn of all. What happened with the firstborn? He offered himself as a sacrifice. He gave himself. And in the same manner, even us, anything that is first to us, we need to see it as such, dedicate it to the Lord. It belongs to the Lord. If anything, but if this firstborn animal has any defect, such as lameness or blindness, or if anything else is wrong with it, you must not sacrifice it to the Lord your God. Instead, use it for food for your family in your hometown. Anyone, whether ceremonially clean or unclean, may eat it, just as anyone may eat a gazelle or deer. But you must not consume the blood. You must pour it out of the ground like water. What if it's not fit for a sacrifice for the Lord? It still should die, but you don't bring it into the house of the Lord. Use it. Use it. Now, the thing I want to say about this is, one, we need to be aware of what the fast opens up. And if we are aware and dedicating our fast to the Lord, that could actually be our guarantee for the following blessings. Let's not live as the foolish. Tukwerada. The foolish, those who do not know, these things do not matter to them. But the first car, the first child, the first goat, the first animal, these things we need to dedicate them to the Lord. And as we walk in communion with him today, he will show us the different ways he might want us to do that, by the way. It might not be exactly how he's instructing the children of Israel. But we need to be aware. Okay? We need to be aware. The second thing is, what we choose to give to the Lord should not have any defect. If the Lord asks for it, give it to them. And look for the best. Amen.